How can the same actor star in an Oscar-winning masterpiece such as Leaving Las Vegas and also give performances that look completely unhinged in movies such as Vampire's Kiss? Welcome to Popcorn Programming, and today we are answering the question the internet has argued about for decades. Is Nicolas Cage a genius or a fraud? Pop pop! We'll begin by looking at 5 potential reasons to why Nicolas Cage could be regarded as a fantastic actor. Reason number 1 is that he is an Academy Award winner. Cage won the Best Actor Oscar for his performance as a suicidal alcoholic, which was raw, painful and deeply human in Leaving Las Vegas. This matters because this role required emotional vulnerability, which Cage did an excellent job of demonstrating, which led to critics widely praising it, and it proved that he could deliver serious dramatic acting. Reason number 2 is that he's not afraid to take huge creative risks. Cage doesn't act like most actors, and that's intentional and might be a gigantic understatement. He himself has described his style as nouveau shamanic acting. I probably butchered that pronunciation, but this is where he exaggerates emotion and movement to create something truly unique and memorable, which 100% he does. Some good examples of this in films such as Vampire's Kiss, Mandy and in Face Off. A note about Face Off. I feel very, very sorry for John Travolta. He has to try and match Cage's acting style, but Face Off is excellent and definitely worth a watch. Back to Cage though, many actors tend to play it safe. Cage does not. He goes all in on every role. Reason number 3 is that he does actually have incredible range. Across Cage's fairly lengthy career, he has played action heroes in great films such as The Rock or Con Air, romantic leads in Moonstruck, a depressed alcoholic in the aforementioned Leaving Las Vegas, an unhinged criminal in Bad Lieutenant Port of Call, New Orleans, and even a meta version of himself in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Very few actors are able to move across genres quite like this, and have the level of success that Cage has been able to have. Reason number 4 is he does elevate up weird or indie films that most other notable actors will not take on. Some directors actively seek out Cage because of the intensity and unpredictability that he brings. For example, in the 2022 film Pig, he delivers a subtle, restrained performance that shocked critics by how good and layered he was. Or another example of this is the cool horror classic Mandy, where he plays a crazed lumberjack out for revenge and is excellent throughout. He often turns these low-budget films into cult favourites. And reason number 5 is he's completely fearless. Cage will do things that many actors wouldn't. He will scream, he will cry uncontrollably, he'll act absurd, basically make himself look as ridiculous as he can manage. This lack of vanity makes him fascinating to watch, even when the film isn't great. Just look at the Ghost Rider films. The films aren't great, but Cage is good in them. Now let's take a look at 5 reasons Nicolas Cage is not a good actor. Reason number 1 is that his performances are often very over the top. Cage is famous for his extreme acting choices, and whilst this can be celebrated, and we have done some celebrating of it so far, in some contexts, for others it really is quite jarring. Some example scenes of this being the case are the alphabet rant in Vampire's Kiss, or some of the wild shouting moments in Face Off, most of the beginning bit of him as a priest. Critics say he often overacts instead of performing naturally. And like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and the times it doesn't really stand out. Reason number 2 is that he appears in quite a few bad films, which, don't get me wrong, a lot of actors do have off days. Even Christian Bale made Terminator Salvation, but Cage has starred in dozens of straight-to-DVD or low-quality films, such as Left Behind or The Humanity Bureau. These films really do hurt his reputation, because people associate him with cheap productions. Reason number 3 is he often just takes roles just for the money they offer. At one point, Cage reportedly had huge financial problems. In order to pay off the debts he owed, he accepted almost any role that got offered to him, which led to a lot of inconsistent performances, rushed productions and very, very forgettable films. Reason number 4 is one we kind of touched on a little bit earlier, but that's that his style doesn't really fit every film. Cage's very intense acting style works great in crazy or stylized films such as The Rock, Con Air or Face Off, or even The Ghost Riders, but in the more grounded dramas, it can feel really out of place. Sometimes the performances feel like it belongs in a different movie than everyone else. And reason number 5 is the extreme inconsistency of the quality of his performances. Cage's performances can go from an Oscar-winning performance to genuinely meme-worthy or cringe-inducing acting within a few years or even months, sometimes within the same film. An example of this contrast is seen through his incredible performances in the movie Pig, and they contrast that to the questionable performances in Ghost Rider's Spirit of the Vengeance. This inconsistency makes people question whether he is truly great. Maybe Nicolas Cage isn't a genius or a fraud based on what we've discussed here. Maybe he's something rarer, an actor who is completely unpredictable. But what do you think? What's your opinion on Nick Cage? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you are new around here. That's all for now, so I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Pop pop!